Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Coffee Jolt with Johnny Cleveland. Oh, yes, it is July 3rd, the day before the 4th. A big day in American history. Yes, indeed. Where am I here? Let's see. I'm trying to find my banners. Where are my banners? You got to know that this is the Coffee Jolt. Yes, part of the Fanatical Elves Network. I'm your host, Johnny Suchan, Johnny Cleveland, whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me mean names. So I'm wearing my Mud Hens outfit today. Toledo Mud Hens. Yes, I know that they are the Major League Baseball affiliate, AAA affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. And no, I'm not a Tigers fan, but I was born and raised in Toledo, Ohio. Some of you maybe didn't know that. I lived there till I was about 8 years old, and then we moved down to Worcester, Ohio, Wooster, the home of the College of Worcester, the Worcester Generals, the high school. What else are we famous for in Worcester? Rubbermaid. Yeah, you have a Rubbermaid product in your house. Those are likely made down there in Worcester at the factories. We got Smuckers. You guys have any Smuckers jam, jellies? Yeah, that's our arch rival down the street in Orrville, Ohio. Orrville, Ohio, the birthplace of A1 Bobby Knight, who, of course, is the Indiana Hoosiers. Great coach. There you go. Little history on Johnny Cleveland. We are the Coffee Jolt. Download us, follow us on Apple, on Spotify. We really need you guys to listen to us on the downloads, on those shows every day. You know, we got the Burning River Browns talk with Lou Marconi. Noah Olson just had his latest show, the East Bank Sports Show. Got Steve Gill does the Dog Pound South shows. Jarrell Flint. We have Sam, and we got Rod Bloom with his Browns Blitzes, along with my Johnny Cleveland shows. We love that you come over to us, follow us. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We started this project a little bit over a year ago, about the first part of April of 2023. Now it's 2024. And we just thank you again for your loyalty. First and foremost, for being a Cleveland faithful fan. I know you're a Browns fan, and we love you being part of our team, our family here. Big news yesterday. We already have talked about it. Yes, Donovan Mitchell signed his 3-year, $150 million extension. And most people knew that was going to happen. And we suspected that as well here on the Fanatical Elves. But, you just don't know for sure sometimes. And kind of kept us waiting, and it's just an interesting time in Cavaliers history right now. I wrote an article recently, or it'll be coming out here, for King James Gospel, the part of Fansided Sports, and that cover the Cavs. I went back and I looked at some past projects or past opportunities that the Cavs took, experiments that they took on some high-powered, high-profile names like Shaquille O'Neal and like Dwayne Wade. And I want to remind all of you Cleveland fans, especially you young Cleveland fans who haven't experienced the ups and downs of being a Cleveland fan to the degree that we have, of us who are in the older generation of Browns and Cleveland fans, that even though you really wish and you think that the Cavs should be doing far more than they have been, and why didn't they go and grab a high-profile free agent? And gosh, what's wrong with Kobe Altman? You know, the Cavs are just sitting there on their hands and not doing anything. Take a step back, relax, and appreciate really what you have in front of you, because you have a very good team in front of you. And I've been telling you this for months and years, that the biggest issue was JB Bickerstaff. He's gone. You got Kenny Atkinson now, and you got a group of players who are very talented and can do a lot, and they can go all the way. They need better coaching, which they're going to get from Kenny Atkinson, So stop all this sort of like, oh, we need another big who can stretch the floor and can hit the shots. And you got all that right now. You got, I know some of you will start trashing Isaac Okoro and Karis LeVert and Dean Wade. These guys can play. Give them a different set. Give them a different opportunity. Give them a different philosophy. They're going to be fine. And you also have the biggest star, Donovan Mitchell. And then the other part of this that fascinates me is how all these people are coming out of the woodwork saying, oh, this is the first time, this is so historical in Cleveland history that a player wants to come back. This is the first time since LeBron and came back, and how somebody really wants to stay here in Cleveland. And now we have Myles Garrett from the Brownies who wants to stay. And we have Jose Ramirez for the Guardians. Just relax. We have this conversation all the time. It drives me batty. I don't know, like you short-term memory loss or whatever when it comes to history, but we're going to be just fine. In Cleveland sports, we're having a good moment right now with all of our teams. They're being successful. We've got a good group of coaches with the Brownies. Kevin Stefanski, good old Steady Eddie, will be, returning. Hopefully he'll have a good year. We got good things going on with the guards. The guards won a game yesterday. Sack fly. Bo Naylor gets the winning run to come in after they blew it. My God, what is wrong with our pitching staff? And I don't follow the Tribe as closely as some of you do right now. I used to follow them a lot more, but this pitching has just been pretty poor. And they built a 6-3 lead. How did they give up those 3 runs in the 7th? What happened? You got to somebody let me know, because I missed that. But that's got to stop. You can't go up 6-3 and go into the 7th inning against the worst team in baseball, the Chicago White Sox, and almost blow it. Good for the guards. They got the win. They certainly needed that win. The Minnesota Twins are breathing down their throat. They're still sick. They won. They beat the Tigers last night. And they're still 6 games up on the Twins. So good job to them. I've got a few story headlines about the Brownies here we're going to hit after the break. This is Coffee Jolt with Johnny Cleveland. We'll be right back. We're back on the Coffee Jolt with me. Yeah, I know I'm wearing my Mud Hen stuff. Toledo Mud Hens. Anybody listening from Toledo or whatever, great town, great community. Proud to wear the Mud Hen stuff. Remember the old show MASH, and the character, he was from Toledo, and he would wear his Mud Hens stuff. I got my coffee this morning, drinking out of my Cleveland Browns mug. My wife said this morning, she says, should we make extra coffee? I said, sure, yeah, because, I've got my Coffee Jolt show. I always love to have a cup of Joe. I got 1 cup of coffee this morning. 1 cup. So she made like 12. You know how you put the certain measurements in. So it's set on like 12 cups. All right. Well, a typical cup in these mugs is like, you get 2 for 1. Anyway, long story short, I got my 1 full cup of coffee, went to go grab another cup of coffee for the show right now. The coffee was gone. Who drank all the coffee? My wife said, I guess you weren't fast enough. So there you go. I wasn't fast enough to the coffee pot. I've been thinking, should I make another pot? But it's getting pretty sizzling here. It's almost lunchtime here in the Buckeye State. We're down here in Columbus. Going to be a beautiful day, but hot and a little bit more sticky, humid. So I know yesterday I did the show outside. Will not be doing that today, as you can see. We're going to have our Fanatical Elves show tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. So catch that, please. Come back before the fireworks start going off, wherever your community you're watching. I know a lot of places here in Columbus, we've got them going off here in our hometown of Gahanna, suburb of Columbus. They got the red, white, and boom down here in Columbus, downtown Columbus, going off tonight. So we'll try to do our show at 8 o'clock. Fireworks set to go off around this area, 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, and then the big day tomorrow. So we will not be broadcasting our Fanatical Elf show tomorrow. That's why we're doing it tonight on July 3rd. Brownie news. There's not a lot. I did want to point out there was a couple different articles. The Dog Pound Daily good writer, Eddie McDonald, who I used to write with, wrote an article that he got the information from Pete Smith, who does some writing for, I think, Sports Illustrated. And he talked about not having enough room for Maurice Hurst, the defensive end that the Browns re-signed over this past season as a free agent. Brought him back on a 1-year deal, $1.3 million. That's it's not a lot of money, but their speculation is that Maurice Hurst will not make the group in the end, because the Browns will probably just go with about 10 defensive linemen, and that Maurice Hurst would not be included in that, considering that they brought in Michael Hall, they got Shelby Harris, everybody else that we've already talked about, Delvin Tomlinson. They brought in a new kid, that Quentin Jefferson from the Jets. So there's just not enough space, is what they're speculating. We'll see if that actually comes to pass, but it could. Good article. Check it out on Dog Pound Daily. Maurice Hurst wrote, not Maurice Hurst, Eddie McDonald wrote that article, so check that out. Looking through my other messages here. Oh, the other thing that happened yesterday, and you probably caught this if you're a Browns fan, you follow anything Cleveland Browns, was that SJ Swagger Jr. Died. The dog that is the mascot for the Cleveland Brownies. He was 5 years old only, and I know some people that are pet supporters and dog lovers are very upset with the fact that I guess this breed of dog is specific in the way that they do it, that is kind of dangerous, and thus why the dogs don't live a great length of time. And he was only 5 years old. I don't know what exactly happened, if he got sick. It sounds like he got sick or something. But he died. His father was the original Swagger. He represented the team from 2014 to 2019. So since then, Junior has been the mascot. So we'll see what happens next. But if you are a pet lover and love dogs, I know you're kind of sad probably about that. The other just offhand news that caught my attention, probably yours, was Deshaun Watson down there in Spain with his girlfriend, Jilly Ines, posing in all sorts of risque photos. And look, I know these kids are 28 years old, 27, 29 years old. They're still young, and they are on social media platforms. I get it, but considering everything, and this is just my opinion here on the Coffee Jolt with Jenny Cleveland, everything that Deshaun Watson has been through or put self into, and then this girlfriend, just provocative photos galore. You know the old Johnny Manziel's stories? I know they're not the same people, but even the idea that Deshaun is okay with putting all this stuff out there, for an old guy like me, it just does not sit well. And maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you feel like I'm being a complete turd on this, but use some caution, use some sensibility. And it just reminds me that even though we all are enamored and love Deshaun and think that he's the greatest thing, many of us do, it's not the case. And considering everything that he's put himself in already and the situations he put himself in, doing that kind of stuff with the social media stuff and these provocative photos, it just does not sit well with some people, including myself. Could use a little less of that and a little bit more, on the football field. And it's great. If he can throw the ball, great. But, kids played 12 games so far as a Cleveland Brown. 12 games in 2 seasons. 12 in 2 seasons. You understand, right? And I know, well, he was suspended and all this, and then he got hurt. Like, yeah, I got it. I'm just like, I figured that out a long time ago. I want to see my quarterback win games. I don't want to see my quarterback posing and it's just that the world we live in. And I get that. I see the comments and the young people who are always like, oh yeah, these are awesome, great photos. Like, and the girlfriend's like this social media, what influencer they call her. She probably got millions and millions of followers now since she's the girlfriend of Deshaun Watson. But our priorities are really messed up these days. So I'll leave it at that. Hey guys, I hope you have a very good rest of your July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July. wherever you're listening, remember, Browns fans, you woke up this morning with hope. You also know that you always have another Cleveland fan who has your back. And remember, it's 5 o'clock. Somewhere. See ya. Go Brownies.